Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Welcome back. Listen up, Phil and Rye. Another big, huge win for the UConn Huskies tonight. 94-50 over the Creighton Bluejays. Unfortunately, there was an injury that happened. Phil's going to talk about the whole game, give us a rundown, but unfortunately, Aubrey Griffin did go down during the game. But another huge win for the UConn Huskies over yet another AP top-ranked team.
All right, yeah, Ryan. I was having fun until the third quarter, and then I wasn't. So a couple keys to get right down on into it. The game recap. I appreciate you again for joining me tonight, and everyone out there. A couple keys to the game. We knew Ryan coming in was to deny Creighton the 3 pointers. Obviously, if you remember last year, they weren't that good at shooting 3 pointers. They were like 1 for 22, I think it was. So again, but we knew it was going to be different. This Creighton team was definitely better, in my opinion, coming in than last year. The goal was to make them move their feet more. UConn freshmen, I had my eyes on them coming into this game. They had 30 against Marquette in the last game, UConn, that is. So the eyes was on the freshman class tonight coming in. And I heard the announcer say something like, we got Paige and you don't. Yeah, that's the storyline, right? It seems like every game, Ryan. But yes, I'll get more down into it after the game and see what your opinions are on it. Aubrey Griffin went down reaching her left knee in the third quarter. And I know we have some updates, Ryan, and you can give them after I'm done this game recap. So the first quarter went like this, Ryan. UConn jumped out to a 2-0 lead to start the game. KK Arnold had a big three to make it 5-0 UConn. Jensen answered right back to make it 5-3. Morgan Malley was getting straight up bullied in the beginning of this game. Creighton had their hands full, and I could tell probably by halftime it was going to be a long shot for Creighton to win this game. Paige Bueckers got her first field goal of the game, made it 9-3 UConn. Both teams in the first quarter, Ryan, they was moving fast in transition, not a lot of setups. The Huskies did not box out at times on rebounds, and that sometimes gave the Blue Jays second chance points, but that didn't last too long. Nika continued to find her targets on the passing game. Nice job with the assist. Like always, Creighton was terrible, like I mentioned last year from beyond the arc, but tonight they did seem to settle in a lot faster. The Blue Jays, they are a great free throw shooting team, and they were definitely surviving by the 3-point ball tonight, Ryan. And there's free throws, not a lot of field goals for this team. The Huskies' first sub was Griffin for Arnold, pretty late in the first. So that was something I took note of. A great job by the starting lineup tonight to rest the bench players, but obviously we know what happened in the third quarter. Good job in the first quarter by UConn to muscle down in the on the two stars, that is, for Creighton. And that would be, like you pointed out, Malley and Ronsick in the last check-in. End of the first quarter, 27-14. UConn second quarter opens up. Ryan Paige Bueckers put buckets, got her first three in the second quarter. Great ball movement again, and good decisions by Ice Brady tonight. KK was 2 for 2 tonight from downtown. Creighton with a three. They actually had a three, Ryan. I think it was by Ronsick, that it was not reviewed. Something to do with the shot clock, the media timeout, that is. But the shot clock ran out, and I think it was Ronsick who had a 3-point. I think they actually counted it, but for some reason they couldn't review it. But it was obviously she missed. She didn't get it off in time, so that was definitely not a 3-pointer. But it didn't really matter considering the final score. Huskies was really pushing the issue in this game, but specifically KK Arnold. I just wanted to point her out because 1 minute it's like she is standing still because we saw her right in person in UConn, and then the next minute she's gone. Like a flash of lightning. So I don't know too many freshmen in this country right now that's playing the high level of basketball that she is. So Ryan, you're already aware of that, obviously. UConn with an 11-0 run in the second, and that would end. Caden Samuels had a big three for the second straight game. UConn poured on 50 points in the first half against not one, but two ranked opponents. They were 65% shooting. UConn was in the first half, Ryan, and it was 53-32 at halftime. Third quarter, Paige has been on fire from the three-point line, as we know, Ryan. She opened up the third with another three, 57-30. UConn was pulling away. Blue Jays allowed UConn to control the pace of the game in that first half, and the Blue Jays was not attacking the glass enough. They didn't seem aggressive enough to try to draw more fouls. So that was something I was looking for in the second half from Creighton. It was great to see the Huskies so alert. One play in the third where Nika Mule had an easy steal and pass to Shade for a nice layup. Creighton was asleep at the wheel, it seemed like, by the time the third quarter had ended, rather. 61-32 UConn. And the UConn defense did a good job in the third, not allowing many field goal points. Creighton was basically either surviving off the three ball, Ryan, like I mentioned, or free throws. Very sloppy third for both teams, a lot of free throws. Teams are really roughing my lady, I should say, Paige Bueckers, buckets. They're really roughing her up nowadays, Ryan. And we witnessed that all the way up there when we went and saw Maryland and UConn. I mean, I guess that's just the game plan nowadays, for not saying anything bad about the head coaches on other teams. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was looking for some more intentional fouls in this game, but that's a conversation for another time, I guess. Beautiful play, though, from Bueckers and Shade to end the third. 74-44, end of three. And then Paige was very efficient tonight as she had another three in the fourth. Inez Betancourt entered, Ryan, into the game, as that was the likely signal that Paige's night was over. Great night for Paige again, 8 for 12. Seems like the defense for UConn is only getting better. Excuse me. Amari DeBerry wanted to know that she had some playing time at the end of this game. Final score was 94-50. Obviously, that brings us to the final. UConn. Paige was in the post-game interview. It was so nice to see, Ryan. I was like, man, Ryan would definitely smile at this. Again, all these young kids, right, having Paige Bueckers jerseys on. She was going up to them, signing jerseys. And she said in the post-game interview, she gives God all the glory to inspire these kids. The defense setting the tone, she mentioned staying locked in. Teammates allow her to be aggressive and set up screens for her, and setting this not only sets the tone in the country, but it more importantly right now, it sets the tone in the Big East. And that takes us to the to you and I, right, traveling down on Sunday. Time to hit the plane and head to DC. But I know you have some updates for me and everybody else. Your thoughts on the game, and then obviously, unfortunately, I don't want to have to do this, but a lot of the rest of this talk, we'll save some comments for the end. What does this mean? We don't want to think about it, but Aubrey Griffin, man, she was arguably having the best year of her career, and now this.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, but just to get into the first half a little bit, UConn, like you said, really controlling the pace of the game. End of the quarter, the end of the first quarter, shooting 79%. Meanwhile, Creighton was only shooting 27%. Huskies ended the first half shooting 6 of 8 from deep. And it seems like the 3-point shots have just been coming in bunches from them in these games as of late. And it's really good to see everybody shooting with confidence now as we progress in the season. Really, everybody seems to be finding their shots really in a groove. So it's been really fun and nice to see and really watch this team progress throughout the season, and how they're playing now. It has been truly incredible, considering now with all these injuries, and yet another one tonight. I think that the Creighton team doctor said that Aubrey's knee looked very unstable, which really isn't good news at all. So Gino said they'll have more updates later in the week, but we can only hope and pray for the best. But it definitely doesn't look like the best in terms for Aubrey Griffin. So definitely prayers up for her. But yeah, not looking too good for Aubrey. She does have another year left of eligibility. I do believe I saw that, if she chooses to come back after this year. But like you said, really unfortunate timing. She was really coming on, playing great off of the bench for this team. I think it just means more minutes for Caden Samuels, Ice Brady, But yet another freshman is going to have to step up. I really expect Caden Samuels to kind of fill in the role that Aubrey Griffin was playing. But Paige Bueckers, another great night tonight, 24.7 assists, yet another double-double for Aaliyah Edwards, her sixth in the last 7 games. And then Nika Mule, I saw 7 assists, and she did record her 500th assist in her career. So congrats to Nika on that. KK Arnold, 17 points, and Ashlyn Shade, 18 points.
All right. I do have, I appreciate that. I do have full confidence, so I can tell you this right now. And I'm hoping that she can return. The way it's sounding, I don't think it's going to be right away, but at the very least, possibly, maybe get her healthy and ready to go for March Madness. But again, we just had, I don't want to throw things out because you and I don't know anything else other than what we have been told as far as some of these perspectives. Let's go over to Maggie Vanoni, hard worker, and we respect her a lot. I know that you think the same thing, Ryan. Gino Ariema, Maggie Vanoni, this is according to her Twitter X account. Gino Ariema on Aubrey Griffin confirms it was non-contact. Creighton team doctor said the knee was very, very unstable. Said they'll know more once they go through tests. And yeah, Ryan, I mean, yeah, it's just where do you go from here? Because I do have full confidence, but I tell you, if we do receive the news, if that's a big if we do receive the news that she is out for the season and done, Griffin, that is, the way they're playing now, right? I mean, again, now no disrespect to Aubrey Griffin at all. She has been one amazing player this season, especially like you mentioned, off the bench. She can change a game just like that. We've seen it a lot in past previous games. But from what you're seeing right now, Ryan, again, no disrespect to anybody, what you're seeing right now, do you think that, hey, maybe we can kind of overcome this thing if matter of fact she is out for the year?
Well, I mean, they've kind of already overcome AZ Fudd's injury, and of course, Ayanna Patterson, Yana El Alfie being out even before the season began. So they've definitely had to overcome a lot of injuries already this season. So it's definitely possible. It's still a lot of confidence and still believe that the UConn Huskies can do it. And like I said, more players are just going to have to step up. But Aubrey Griffin as well, she just plays so good on defense. And UConn has been doing a tremendous job shutting down teams as of lately. To hold Creighton to 50 points is pretty incredible considering how good of a shooting team they are. But yeah, I think it's just more players are gonna have to step up, step into roles that maybe they didn't expect to have this season. But definitely think that the UConn can overcome yet another obstacle.
Overcoming injuries, yes, that's been a challenge for years, ever since we started this podcast, Ryan. Prayers to Aubrey Griffin, her family, her, and we hope for a speedy recovery. We hope for great news. We hope that she's right back out there Sunday, but I don't know the way it sounds, Ryan. Let's go over into and considering graduate student, my oh my, I mean it's really heartbreaking. Let's go over to comments and then we will head on out for the night. Let's go over. How about Jason D'Amico? I agree with the disruptive one's comment. Got to keep the three ball under control. Let Edwards do her job securing the paint on D and put pressure on the perimeter. Welcome to the February grind. Peace.
Yeah, nice win to kick off the new year. That's for sure. Definitely, UConn did their job shutting down Creighton from three. Only shot 4 at 24. The Blue Jays did tonight, so definitely did their part on that. And like I said, the defense as of late has really been clicking along with the offense. And when both sides of the ball are complementing each other, it is really great to see. And it's definitely when UConn is playing their best, when their defense can lead the offense, and kind of the other way around as well.
Adam Edmonds checked in 2 hours ago, so he goes watching the game right now. Aubrey just went down. I really hope this isn't another season-ending injury, but it certainly didn't look good. Aubrey is so important to this team's identity.
Yeah, she really is, and she has been for the past 4 or 5 years that she's been on this team. So, like we said, it really unfortunate and just really bad timing for her and the whole team. But definitely first hearings about the injury definitely don't sound or look good, but more updates to come in the next couple of days.
How about Paul? I like this comment, Ryan. Paige appears to be getting healthier every day, and she is playing confidently and fearlessly. In my opinion, she is about to take off and become a dominant player, much like who, Ryan? Like Clark. Whoa, not sure if UConn can win a natty. Just do not feel that matchup with a UCLA and a few other teams, but Paige will make it interesting. Well, Ryan, I love to talk about some Notre Dame and South Carolina basketball right about now.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree. I think Paige, it took a little while for her, which was kind of expected coming into the season, to really for her to get her groove and kind of just mesh back into the team and start playing again. But it definitely does seem like she's getting a little healthier each and every game, and she's definitely playing like it, getting more minutes, scoring more points, and her defensive skills are at an all-time high. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see if she can keep it up, but I definitely think she will throughout the whole entire season. But yeah, definitely some teams out there that are a tough matchup for UConn, as we've seen, throughout the season. So yeah, I mean, the way the team's playing right now, it definitely does like seem like they can just beat about anybody, but definitely a couple teams to look out for.
Okay. And Mike goes, keep up the great work, boys. I feel good about this team. They seem to be finding their roles. My hope is for UConn to win 2 national championship trophies this year, men and women. Whoa.
Yeah, well, the men did it. The men did it last year, so definitely tough to win
And
back
tell
to
them you
back.
you
But
had bragging rights. I think you predicted that before it even happened.
yeah, I did. I filled
Yeah.
I filled out a bracket and picked UConn to win, and they did. So that was a first for me. But yeah, definitely UConn men definitely looked like they could repeat, and yeah, the UConn women definitely seem like they can do it. Definitely a lot of obstacles to overcome, and another one added to that tonight. But they're playing really good right now.
All right, Ryan. Final score today, that is 94-50. Connecticut over Creighton moves UConn, Ryan, to 11-3. And we will see everyone back here for the last check-in against Georgetown, Ryan, as we await the news. I'm not going to sleep so well tonight, but as we await the news of the Aubrey Griffin injury. Phil and Ryan, listen up.